Hello everyone, Pallytub here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as the newest character added into our Heroes roster, Greymane. He is already he's almost level 8 already. I've been playing him a ton, and I've been having a lot of fun. It's scary to say, but the last time I was having this much fun is when HoTs was added to the game. And we all know how that went. I did my theory crafting video last night. I was pretty sleepy, but you know what? We got through it. Now, I'm going to show you basically the same build, or very, very close to the same build, in a quick match environment, and hopefully it plays out really well. We should be able to look at my match history. Whoop-pow! It's going pretty well. Look at it. This is me when I first started playing. It wasn't that good. And then I discovered this build, and look, it's been played out pretty well. It's pretty good. So, I'm gonna be showing it off today, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the best map in the whole video game. Blackheart's Bay. At level 1, we are going to go for Viciousness. Inner Beast duration is increased by 1 second. Isn't that great? And abilities will also keep Inner Beast going. We're going to be using this to keep our attack speed increase on our W ability going for as long as humanly possible. And then later on, we will be getting a movement speed increase from it as well. I have really been enjoying this playstyle. It's super fun. So the friendly team, Greymane, Rhaegar, Artanis, Thrall, and Trondos Burundra. The enemy team, Greymane, Raynor, Karazim, Brightwing, and Tyrael. So potentially Karazim, if he does go for Divine Palm, could be pretty hard for me to deal with. It's usually very apparent when Greymane is Whoa. How'd that happen? Probably a body block. It's usually very apparent when Greymane is going into an altercation because, like, at least with the way that I play him, it's very poke-oriented at first. So, you know, we'll be sitting back and we'll kind of be whittling someone down. And then, is he a viewer? Let's see. Spin with me, bro. Yeah! And then, all of a sudden, you know, we just dive in hard. And I would imagine for a Karazim, that would be pretty easy to read and just be like, well, here you go, Divine Palm, sir, stay alive. We are going to use our attack speed modifier here. Now, I already know from experience that I cannot trade a Karazim at level 1. I already fucking know this. I don't need to show you. I've tried it already several times. So I'm going to take my 1 coin and I'm going to let him have those. And I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, we could poke at him a little bit, but like, fuck it, dude. I am not dying for 4 coins. We didn't plan that very well. Oh, well, at least I stopped the first bombardment momentarily, as I do have the only coin for our team. Dude, soak. We gotta get that fat XP. Okay, alright, so they overreacted a little bit. Apparently the coins didn't go very well in the middle lane, and then the majority of the team did go to the turn in when they didn't have enough coins to turn in. But that's okay. That's okay. We only fell a little bit behind. Picking up kills on Raynor, that's great. Seems like we have a pretty good gang squad. Tyrande, Whisperwind, Artanis, and Thrall all roaming around together is pretty damn strong. I'm going to go ahead and ping danger at the coin turn in because we could assume that's where Karazim went. And of course, he could be the anchor for Brightwing's teleport, so we should expect her to go over there pretty quick too. Some things you might notice, I'm playing pretty fucking careful, especially for me. Especially, I didn't put a fucking X in there, because you have to on Greymane. He is a very little delicate butterfly. At level 4, we are going to be going for Eyes in the Dark, which is going to allow us to go into stealth when we use our E ability in wolf form. I suppose I should go over my abilities. My Q is Cocktail, Explosive Cocktail. Which is really good, actually. Great for poking. I'm going to go try to turn in really quick with the team, see if they react to it. When I'm in, so it's an AoE at range. This is the projectile. It looks really weird. When I'm in Worgen form, which I can do by casting my E ability, it then switches over to a small little melee. Oh, here we go. Diving in right now. Boom! It changes into a small kind of dive forward and a cleave. There are some upgrades for this talent that you guys were telling me about in my theory crafting video that may make the talent pretty good or make the ability pretty good. But I have not done any testing with those. We're going to stick with my standard build that I've been using. Then our W ability does increase our attack speed by 50% in both forms. This is one of the, this is the only ability that is not augmented based on your current stance. My E ability is called Dark Flight if I'm in human form, and it dives me towards a target and then switches me into a Worgen, into a werewolf. And then if we are in Worgen form, our E ability then becomes Disengage, and with our level 4 talent, we will become, we will go into stealth when we use this. It's a fantastic way for escaping, and with the build that we are doing throughout the course of this video, it will become quite strong, because we're going to have movement speed on top of that stealth. Should allow us to get away from most things as long as we have a little bit of foresight. So we push bottom blade into the towers. We're not really going to miss out on too much XP, so I'm going to come down here and help Thrall take this over. Jumping into Worgen form, because while we are in Worgen form, we do have that 40% more damage on our basic attacks. Or is it everything? Yeah, just basic attacks. So we want to get in there and do as much damage as we can. What does your heart tell you? I'm playing Greymane on a fucking recruit a friend mount. Like, just saying. Phone? Not now. Not now. We need to put you on silence. Okay. So, yeah, we are just going to play pretty safe. At level 10, we could start to become a lot more aggressive. But until then, I'm just kind of biding my time. I'm choosing these altercations very, like, there's no pressure. We could just take it easy. I'm going to turn in these 2 coins. Bot's already kind of pushing forward, and I can't really shove it any further than that. Apparently something's going on up here, though. Artanis in a little bit of trouble. Tyrande saying there's danger up there. Looks like we're all roaming up. We do have a 1-level lead on the enemy team. So, of course, there's a little bit of a bonus there. Looks like the bot lane is going to be taken by the enemy team, but we can go ahead and snag these pretty quick. And we are in range to get XP while that was going on. I don't have any coins, and it looks like they're going to the turn-in. There's at least 2 middle, so I'm not too, like, I don't feel like I need to follow them too bad. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to poke here. We do have our attack speed modifier up on our W. You can see how many auto attacks we've landed on the left side of the screen. He could easily dive over and kill me, so I'm going to make sure they don't get vision. So we were at like a 25 combo or something. Basically, that just means we were getting some really good damage out of that attack speed increase. So we are with the team now. Tyrande healing me up while they turn in these coins. This is going to be enough, so I'm going to try to zone pretty aggressively. And it looks like this is going to be enough as Thrall turns in his final 4. Good. I'm going to make my way back to bottom and continue to soak that. We do still have that 1-level lead, and with this bombardment going out, we are going to get XP from the buildings dying as well, which means this lead will continue to increase. Now, this is pretty dangerous for me to be in human form here. If we take a look at the map, prior to this owl scouting these guys, we had vision of no one, which means I probably want to be in Worgen form here, because when someone does show up, I can simply disengage, go into stealth, and leave with no threat of bodily harm. And it's that kind of anticipation you need to have. You need to constantly be looking at your map. If there's a sense that you're going to get ganked, you need to be ready. You need to be in Worgen form. I was just going to roam up to middle, but it looks like they're still trying to do something down here. Rhaegar does spot them at the turn-in. It looks like we are going to interrupt, and Tyrael looks like he's the only one here. So let's go ahead and give myself some attack speed and just let him jump off, let him fly away. You may have noticed I haven't been in Worgen form very much. I play a very combo-oriented Greymane. I use Worgen when we're taking over camps like this, because of course it clears it a bit faster. And I use Worgen a lot after level 10. But prior to that, I find myself to be very, very opportunistic. Someone described the Greymane playstyle, I believe it was on Twitter, it was in the comments of my theory crafting video, I don't remember which one, but they said he's basically Vala in human form and Illidan in wolf form, and I agree with that actually. I think that's an extremely accurate statement. So Vala is a very safe character. You want to play very defensive, you want to make sure you're not too close to someone, you want to make sure they can't deal easy damage to you. And that really is what his human form is like. You want to poke someone down. You want to use your range and your attack speed and your movement speed to your advantage. But then when you go in wolf form, you turn into Illidan, who is all about jumping in and killing a motherfucker as fast as humanly possible, or at least embarrassing him in the process. And really, I think that's pretty accurate. I think that's a good statement. Once we get into a team fight, I should be able to show you what our ultimate does. This is Go for the Throat. We are going to do, at this level, 578 damage to a target when we use our ultimate. And if we actually get the killing blow, while the ultimate is channeling, it does 3 swipes basically instantaneously. What the hell was that? What? Does 3 swipes like instantaneously. And if we get a kill with any of those 3 swipes, we do have about a 10-second window where we can use the ultimate again. There is a indicator above an enemy's head when they are in kill range, but it is extremely hard to see. There we go. My ultimate does go out on the enemy team's bright wing there, and we do secure that kill. And I'm not really going to chase anything else. We did that damage. We did what we need to do, and I'm just going to go back to dealing this easy damage. Going to go ahead and disengage to get back into human form and try to just poke these guys down. No reason to overcommit, but we can do some very meaningful auto attack damage from range as well. We don't get the 40% damage increase in wolf form, but it's still a lot of damage. Looks like we may be diving in a little bit too far here. We do have a talent to choose. We are going to get on the prowl, and looks like it is just gonna be time to leave. I'm gonna dip down here into the smoke, and I should be fine. They shouldn't be able to catch up. We should be good. On the prowl gives us a 30%, I can just pick up, gives us a 30% movement speed increase. Just for reference, mount speed, which we're on right now, is a 40%, so it's just 10% slower. A 30% movement speed increase when we have our W's buff active on us for at least 3 seconds. Remember, our talent at level 1 makes it so by default the buff lasts for 4 seconds. So even if we don't attack anyone to keep the buff rolling, we can get that movement speed increase. We should just pressure bottom. I'll let the team know. With so many people up in the top lane, this is a pretty easy pickup for us, and we can pressure them to come down here and respond to us. Now granted, they could push something else as well. Oh shit, now we have to get chests, never mind. So you can see this hit combo going on. So basically, while you see this, I move faster. And our abilities and auto attacks will keep that going. So it's really strong. I'm gonna come over here to the left and just zone for our Rhaegar. Everyone else moving off to the right. Gonna make sure he turns in, mount up, and follow after him, as there is a team fight going on right now. The friendly team's Artana is pretty overextended, but Asunder coming out from Thrall is gonna do a lot to keep him alive. The Ancestral Healing doing good work there. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm getting a little cut off. So we can dive in wolf form, try to disengage a little bit more. I dived in with Wolf on a minion and then used my Q ability to get a little bit more space, but unfortunately I did just back out the wrong direction, and that was a mistake. If we go ahead and look at the damage done, we are pretty damn competitive with the rest of the team. We have a ton of melee from Artanis and Thrall, so you can see I'm trying to sit back in range a little bit more and only dive in at the opportune times. The bombardment from Rhaegar has... I've had a lot of coffee today, can you tell? I don't think I've stopped talking yet. Well, let's just take a second. Let's just take a second. Okay. The bombardment's over, and it dealt some pretty good damage to the enemy team. We took care of the tier 2 towers in the middle lane, and we're going to be able to push in there pretty easily with this team comp. The 1 level advantage continues to be a thing, so we're in a pretty good spot. We're in a pretty damn good spot. Looks like the enemy team might be going to the turn-in. I don't really know why. Oh, it's because they don't have enough to turn in. Artanis up in the top lane, very split from the rest of the team. Artanis and Rhaegar up there, while the enemy team is trying to shove the bottom lane into the fort. But it looks like they may be backing off just to turn in. At level 16, we are going to go for Concentrated Blast. This is going to increase the damage of our Q ability. Again, with so much melee on our team, I want to be a little bit safer. Concentrated Blast makes it so we deal 80% increased damage. I thought it was 200, but it's 80% increased damage while we have our W buff up. And as you already know, it's really, really easy to keep that W buff up with this particular build. Can't keep giving them free turn-ins. Well, let's go ahead and interrupt some sons of bitches. The enemy Greymane diving in deep, and I was able to get 2 executions off with my ultimate, just deleting the enemy team from the game. Now we're just gonna mount up and continue to chase. If Rhaegar is able to throw down a slow totem, we're in a pretty good spot here. Throwing my Q out, dealing some damage, now jumping in wolf form and finishing him off. The Divine Palm a little bit too late, and you can actually see the movement speed paying off here, as I was a little bit faster than Karazim, and I was able to continue to apply those auto attacks to him, even though he was running away. Very, very, very good for consistent damage, and God, this build is so good. Now, if we had a little bit more of a balanced team, some range damage dealers, some tanks, some assassins, I would go for Alpha Killer instead, with again the idea that when I go into Worgen form, it is simply to secure a kill. And I would do that by dealing 3% additional damage based on the target's maximum health. So really, really, really good for killing tanks, which they only have 1, so it's not that important of a talent here. And it's important to mention that 3% is tied for the highest percentage in the game. The only person who comes close to that is, can you guess it? It's Artanis with Titan Killer at the same level. Looks like we are going to be going for some mercenary camps here. I'm just kind of following the team around. We do have enough for a turn-in. We have enough to turn in again. We do have enough for a turn-in, so going up and doing boss right now would be a little bit of a mistake. They're saying gank boss, but they're not doing boss right now. Tyrael's down in the bottom lane. So going in for a turn-in would be a pretty good idea. Of course, the chests conveniently spawn again, as our entire team is right here, so we'll go ahead and finish those off. Now, I will have my attack speed increase in the next team fight. Looks like the enemy team is pretty split, so I'm going to make my way down here and try to check on the chests. Looks like Tyrael was able to secure it with the help of someone else, because he only has 1 coin. Attack speed buff coming out. Here goes my Q, trying to deal damage to the enemy team. Divine Palm saving someone. I didn't quite see who it was. Here comes the judgment in on me. I'm very overextended here as well. Just trying to back up, keep these buffs active. And I'm... Oh, what a good ancestral. Holy shit. I tried to use my ultimate on the enemy team's Greymane there. I'm body blocking our Thrall. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hit me too. I hit me too, Thrall. Okay. 726 damage there on my auto attack. Let's jump in after this Rainer. He does interrupt my gap closer with my E with his knockback, but we're still going in here and we're still dealing some pretty good damage. A fantastic stun, gonna push the enemy gonna force the enemy team's Karazim to continue to run away. But you know, he can dash to anything. That sentence didn't really make sense. Let's go ahead and recall. Sorry for the body block. Totally got him killed. Totally got him killed. All right. So, how are we doing? We traded 2 for 1, which is always good. We have a 2-level lead for a moment. They're going to get level 17 pretty quick. Up in the top lane, that mercenary camp we took right before that altercation is pushing pretty well. We could just go in here and AoE this down. 577 damage on our Q ability when we have our W ability active. So, again, this build is a little bit more poke-oriented. I'm trying to stay away from the front line, you know, as Tyrael judged me in melee range. You know, I'm still motherfucking Palatine. I still don't know how to play safe, but I'm doing pretty well. As you can see, #1 on siege and hero damage for our team. And only have 1 death. Our supports are doing a really good job. Of course, double supports helps you stay alive quite a bit, so credit is due there. That ancestral healing in that last team fight was huge. That was a lifesaver. That was a lifesaver. Okay. So it looks like we're getting a coin camp with Artanis here. I used my attack speed increase, so it is going to be down for 15 seconds. So hopefully we don't get into a fight too quickly. Going in with my Q here just to deal a little bit of damage. Remember, I don't know what just happened there. I don't know why he was there. I don't know where he came from. We are gonna go with Hunter's Blunderbuss at level 20. This is going to allow our auto attacks to not cleave, but splash. So our Q ability is a splash ability. If I could, I guess the range indicator changes based on our level 7 talent choice, but you know, it goes a certain direction, it hits a target, and then it splashes to others. Now our auto attack is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. So we still have to position pretty much the same as if we were going to be using our Q at all times. For instance, that minion wave right there, when they were in a straight line, I was only hitting one minion, but if I was angled to the side a little bit more, I could have cleaved several. The friendly team once again turning in enough coins. Good, good, good. Oh, actually, it's not enough coins. Math is hard. So we're going to be a little short, but the boss is going to take over that top keep. We could easily be doing core damage right here. We could easily be forcing a lot more fights, but the team actually deciding to play pretty safe here is fine. So again, in this position, we need to actually position so the cleave is hitting multiple targets, and that does 100% damage to each target as well. Again, let me demonstrate. If we are just hitting this guy, we're not cleaving, but if we were... Fuck, they killed it too quick. I'm sure you get it. Don't worry. I'm sure you get it. And again, we're going to be using this to play safe and to try to just go into these team fights at the appropriate times, which I think I've been doing pretty well throughout the course of this match. I hope you agree. You know, ping if you disagree. Success is a mindset. Could hide and gank again. No need to do that. No need to do that. Here's a good example. I'm not dealing cleave damage. But if I was over here, I would be dealing cleave damage. Yay! Alright, Toronto with the owl is gonna make 3 members of the enemy team wizards. Congratulations. Your invitations have been sent. Now, I am totally in favor of ganking the bottom chest, not letting them know we're here, and then jumping in on them when they engage. I think this is a great idea. I'm just going to wait for the right time. Thrall and Artanis, unfortunately, have dipped up to the top of the map, so it looks like we're not going to be able to engage here too hard. Thrall is securing those 7 coins. Pretty good stun there. I can't engage too hard, however. Good Shadow Stalk is going to keep me alive momentarily, and let's come in here. I don't have my attack speed increase, unfortunately. We're going to have to wait a second for that, but we're doing some pretty good cleave damage here. Oh, there's the Divine Palm. I'm going to try my best not to kill him. Unfortunately, someone else did let him die. Here we go. Jumping in on Greymane with our ultimate. Swiping in, trying to cleave. We are going to take down the enemy team's Charism. And unfortunately, now I'm going to have to disengage. And we're going to do that in stealth like a boss. We were very split. Yes. Yes, we were very split. And because of that, we lost that team fight. I was trying to stay back, and I did a pretty good job of that. And that's really the strength of Greymane. He can build to be a ranged assassin. He can build to be a melee assassin. No matter what you do, you're going to be very delicate. So you need to play a bit of both. You're not just a ranged assassin, even though that's what you're classified as. You'll also go in face first with the warriors, trying to deal as much damage as possible. I'm having so much deja vu right now. I think it's that sentence in general. I believe I've talked about it before as with Thrall in the past. I believe I've said the exact same thing with Thrall in the past. So we just need to be really careful here. They don't have vision of this, or actually they do because the wall's there, but we had vision on several members of the enemy team and they were nowhere near us. So pretty safe coin pickup, but if they were a little bit more coordinated, if they were moving together a little bit more, that could have potentially been dangerous. So when the chest spawn gank core, that'll be another fucking two and a half minutes. We can win the game by then. If we delay that long, it's going to be way too easy for them to come back. Really, we should just be trying to force a fight. I think coming over here would be a great idea. A little bit sooner, though. A little bit sooner. We would have been able to get a very easy pick on their highest dealing damage dealer. Nailed that sentence, and it would have been pretty fucking easy to rush core after that. Artanis once again getting split from the enemy, or from the friendly team, but Rhaegar's right there with him, so I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. How many coins do we have? We have 13, which is not 20. Math. So we're not going to get a bombardment here, but you know what? Well, at least if we die, it's not as big of a deal. They want to go for the bottom bruisers. Man, we're playing so safe. There's no reason to. Let's just shove bottom. Put them in their place. Or I'll follow. Okay, so we're going in. We're going in. I'm gonna wait, gonna wait. Let them react. Okay, here's my attack speed increase. The judgment's been used. We should be cleaving for a ton now. 800 damage done to everything on their back line. And I'm just trying to stay safe in this altercation right now. Trying to pick my targets very wisely so the damage spreads. You can see I'm trying to hit Karazim here, but for some reason it's not fucking working. It's just not fucking working. Okay. Man, this is actually not going very well, is it? This is not going very well, is it? I don't have anyone to jump to, and I'm pretty out of position here, so I'm going to try to let Artanis take a little bit of damage for me and just continue to throw out the Qs behind me. Yeah, I just needed to attack to get that movement speed increase so I could get out. Unfortunately, they could very easily win the game right now with half of our team dead. They're going to be able to push into these structures. No problem. I really do think shoving bot was the right thing to do because we already knew that they were here. We already knew the whole team was there. So we could have punished them down here and then cleaned up the mercenary camp. But instead, we did go for the more aggressive play. Again, we could just come in here, poke a little bit. Judgment should still be off cooldown, so we're relatively safe. They don't have that hard of an engage. And I'm just going to deal as much meaningful damage here as I can. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this damage! So strong! Forcing a whole team to come back basically by ourselves with that splash damage. Not to discredit anyone else on our team, but that damage, it was a lot of ours. It was a lot of ours. The enemy team does not have enough for a turn-in, but they easily could. We need to contest. We have to contest all together. All together. We can't let this happen. We can't let this happen. Good interrupt. Good interrupt. They're turning in those 12 now, though. We're very split. Thrall! Come on, buddy. Get up here. Come on, buddy. We could do it. Look at that. 800 damage coming out. Owl's coming out as well. Unfortunately, it was not enough to stop the turn-in. Tyrael does have Judge, so I need to make sure I'm not in a spot where I'm easy to be targeted. Are we getting this now? For real? They're getting boss. They're on boss. We could just fucking core. Like, are people aware of that? Are people aware how delicate a core is when you're level 22? We could just walk right up to their core and kill it. Yeah, that is true. They might be baiting boss, but luckily we have Tyrande Whisperwind who can scout. By the time we get this, they're gonna kill boss already. Like, that's the reality of the situation. We're playing a little bit too safe. It's like the last few altercations really just shifted our momentum. And she didn't scout boss. Why? Oh, turn in again. Okay. Well, we could get boss, and it would be pretty easy. Here's my attack speed increase coming out now. I'm just gonna wail into this guy. 409 damage a shot right now. Wow, it was. Oh, it was vulnerable from Tyrande. All right, the enemy team's moving in pretty quick, but we got this in no time. Just look how fast that died. We could easily do that to their core as well. We could do some really, really meaningful damage to their core. They want to turn in. We do have enough. We do have enough. And bot has just died, so we're going to do guaranteed core damage. Okay, I agree. I agree. Turn in. Turn in. Turning in is a smart play here. We've been playing so defensively, no reason to stop now, right? No reason to stop now. We could just walk right in, turn these coins in. I'll turn in my 1. Not that they need it. I just don't want to... I don't want to put any more of a target on my back than I have to. And now we can... There's no reason to get the fucking mercenary camp. Let's just go kill their core. Just hit their core. More insurance, I guess. I don't know. I'm not used to playing this cautious. I'm very all in. Oh well. Looks like that's going to be it. I didn't get to play as aggressive as I wanted to. With the shifting of the stances, but I hope you guys got the idea. Again, this was the passive version of my build. You can switch up talents at a few different tiers to really change up how the build feels. We did go for Viciousness at level 1, Eye in the Dark at level 4, level 7, Incendiary Elixir, which basically makes it so when your Q hits a target, it does the same damage to everything, rather than reduce damage to the first target and then more damage to the back line. Everything just gets hit for the same flat amount, which is pretty cool. Go for the Throat. I didn't get to use it as much as I wanted to, actually. When the enemy team has 2 healers and a Divine Palm, it kind of stops you from going in as aggressively. Like, you can't really jump in and secure that kill. There's a very big tell when you're going in, obviously. You become a werewolf and you jump on a target, so makes it very, very easy to land Divine Palms in those situations. We did get Concentrated Blast at level 16. Before that, we did get on the Prowl level 30. This is very, very important for the build, and I think it's very subtle. And it's something that I appreciated more as I continued to play the character. So when you go in with Go for the Throat, your character is actually suppressed for about half a second, which means you're not moving. And as you engage on a target with this massive damage ability, what do you think they're going to be doing? In most cases, they're going to be walking away from you, because that's the sensible thing to do. This movement speed increase allows you to continue to apply pressure by using your Q in wolf form to gap close back over to them. Usually that's enough. And then you'll be able to run faster than your opponent, deal auto attack damage, catch back up, and continue to deal auto attack damage, as long as you have the buff rolling prior to jumping in, which is why we're poke oriented, and then we go all in once we have some stacks of our W and we've been able to deal some meaningful damage to the enemy team. Really fun playstyle. I fucking enjoyed this character so much. Concentrated Blast. This was so we became a little bit more poke oriented. Like I said, we are going to have our W up a lot of the time, which is really, really easy to do in this particular build. So basically this just means our Q is going to hit 80% harder. And really, can you complain about that? And last but not least, the Hunter's Blunderbuss, because again, we were kind of more human-focused this game because we already had a ton of melee. So we were able to just sit back, poke away, splash damage to the enemy team, and really, really be effective from the back line, as well as effective from the front line when it's time to go in for those executes. So here are the stats. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We played pretty cautious. We could have been a lot more aggressive in a lot of those situations, but you know what? That's fine. We got the win. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to play so much more of this character. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. Almost have him up to level 8 already, and he hasn't even been out 24 hours yet. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Okay, bye.